Now, let's talk about developers. So this one is about stored procedures. So Frank, maybe you could take this one.
Yes. So again, we see we had this request regarding support for store procedure because the way to implement with Greenplum 6 was to use function. So it was a way to work around, but we had few limitations like the support of transaction inside the function. So now we make the life for the developer better. And then we have also a lot of customers moving from Oracle to Greenplum. By the way, something I want to mention is regarding migration. We can automate the migration. So we can automate the migration for the code, but also for the ETL process. And this kind of functionality is going to make I would say, the translation easier. So
Right.
Good job.
Okay, good. And then moving on to, I like this one a lot. This one, because I know the developer in the Postgres side who implemented this feature. This feature we're going to talk about is called UPSERT. And what it does is it makes it easier to merge data sets. So imagine, for example, you're working with sensor data. And every time a sensor is updated in the real world, you want to update it in Greenplum. So what you need to do is, first of all, find out if the sensor ID is in the database or not, based on its key. And if it is, then you need to update it. If it's not there, you need to insert it. So what we need is a simple command to merge this data, either insert or update in one shot. That's called UPSERT. It's really cool. Works perfectly. So that's going to help for ETL developers and people trying to synchronize real world data into Greenplum and Greenplum 7. Let's move forward. Okay, generated columns. Generated columns also are interesting. This one allows you to, I think of this as kind of like an object-oriented programming kind of a capability where you've got the actual real data, and then you generate another column based on the columns in your data. So this not dynamically, but automatically generates a secondary column based on the primary column. And then using column permissions, you can even restrict access and present a more refined view of the data. So in this use case here, we've got, for example, credit card data, and we're masking it using this overlay function and providing a masked version. And you could do any kind of a use case to transform your data and provide a different interface or a different view of it into the users. Okay, let's go to Python. So let's talk about, Frank, why would someone want to use Python and what would be the benefit and what are we providing here?
Sure, because up to now, we were focusing on SQL developer. But we have to acknowledge now that a lot of developers, they don't know SQL. They only know Python. And what is the most famous API to access a database from Python? This is Pandas. So Pandas is great, a lot of functionality for data analysts, for data scientists, but also few important limitations. So first, the memory consumption, the ability also to work with very large data set. And when you are working with a Greenplum database, of course, you can use Pandas, but you are working with big data, even with massive data. So this is why we had, and I'm very proud because this is a joint development we did with the R&D. And thanks to Ruxu, I know she's on the call today. She participated on the development of this great client library. So this is same as Pandas, but we overcome all the limitations from Pandas. So if we can go to the next slide, we can explain how it works. So of course, we leverage the massive.
So if let's say I have a Windows PC, right? I can install this on my PC, right?
Yes, pip install, the same.
Pip install, but then the data won't be on my PC.
No,
right?
No. Everything stay on Greenplum.
Right, so, except for the Python. The Python's
exactly.
on your laptop, but the data is in Greenplum. So let's see here what we've got.
So same. So you can use it from a Jupyter notebook. You can use it from a Python program. So you will connect to the database. You will use the same concept of data frame. You can, do projection. You can put some predicate to filter the data. You can save the data frame inside Greenplum. You can join multiple data frame. And then, you can also create inside the database function and the user-defined aggregate. And now, again, the theme of the Greenplum 7 is about innovation. So what we can do as well, we can generate and search embedding. And we are going to explain what is embedding when we will talk about generative AI. So of course, we don't have all the capabilities of Pandas, but we will be there soon. And we count on you to give some feedback regarding Greenplum Python. So fantastic job.